Hi, I'm Hannah and welcome to my channel. Today I really want to talk about reading slumps. I feel like I've been in such a creative and even a reading slump for just the past couple weeks or so, and I'm finally, thank you reading gods. I feel like I haven't posted in the past few weeks, so I'm just trying to jump back into it, and I thought the best thing for me to do is to be really honest about it. I think sometimes within the reading community with things like book talk and booktube, I feel like there can be this sort of unspoken pressure that you have to have read 10 books in a month, or that you've had to have completely finished a series every single month. And do you know what? Sometimes that's not the case. And I think at the end of May, I had a really good reading month. I'd read quite a few books and I was really happy with it. But the last book I read that month was Releasing 10. And I feel like it put me in a little bit of a slump after finishing it. We can all be in slumps for different reasons. It can be just that life's really busy. It can be that you might just not be feeling 100% in yourself. It can even be that the books that you're reading you don't feel like you're connecting with. And for me personally, I think after reading Releasing 10, it was a bit of it was heavy subject matter. And I just think after reading that book, I think I'd sort of took time off reading for a little bit. And then once I was out the habit of it, I found it difficult picking up another book, getting back into my normal routine with reading. And I also felt like the books I was picking up, I didn't really connect with as much as I was hoping that I would. So some books I started and they weren't really for me. One of the books that I did end up picking up and finishing was The Deal by Elle Kennedy. And this was part of the Off-Campus series. And I had read the series before, and yeah, I actually really enjoyed this book. I'm a big sucker for romance, so I'd say 99% of the books I read are romance in some capacity. I do sway a little bit more towards romantasy, but I still love a good romance book. I feel like this book took me by surprise. I actually really enjoyed it. The fake dating trope was in there as well, which is something I didn't expect within it. And I think that sort of I felt like it got me out of a slump. And then I started book 2 in the series, and it felt like such a contrast from the first book for me. I think the first book, I really liked Hannah and Garrett together, so I really sort of connected with those characters, really liked the book. Also, my name's Hannah, so it was nice reading a book with the main character of the same name. In the second book, it didn't connect with me, and I found it really hard to sort of push myself through it. I'm not really a DNFer. I do typically finish books even if I'm struggling with them, and that was sort of the case for me. I just didn't really feel like one for me. And then it didn't really make me want to pick up the third one. And I know that I will get around to finishing that series. I've heard good things about the series. But it was just, I think after being in a slump for about a week or two, I just needed something that was sort of gonna completely capture my attention, and I wanted a book that I could just a book universe I could just dive right into, really connect with the characters, a plot that would sort of keep me turning the page. And I just didn't really feel like that with that series. And also, just to note as well, that doesn't mean that I don't like this series or that I don't think it's good. That's not the case. It's just sometimes I think when you're in that sort of slump era, I think it's really difficult to sort of, I think it's harder for books to sort of hold your attention. I think when you're in that mode of, okay, I've read this book, I'm on to the next one, I'm on to the next one, on to the next one, I feel like you enjoy those sorts of books more then. But after being in a slump, I was like, this isn't a page turner for me, and I need page turners. Again, after finishing the second book in that series, I think I did pick up something else, but I can't remember what it was. And again, I just really felt like I just didn't know what to do. And then there's I have a friend, Lauren, shout out Lauren, and she bought me the Caraval series for my birthday, and she's been talking about it for a couple of months now, and just saying some of like the little like scenes that are in the book series, and sort of she was saying to me about Caraval that she really wants to read it and that she recommends it, and you know, it's been on my bookshelf, and I think the difficult thing for me is I saw the aesthetic online and I was like, I'm not sure if that's for me. But I thought, you know what? I don't really know anything about this book. I don't see anything on BookTok about it or have any videos sent to me. And that's not because there's not those videos out there. There definitely is. There's so much content out there about it, but it's just not been on my For You page at all. So I've had zero spoilers, didn't know what to expect, didn't know the characters' names, didn't know anything that's what it was supposed to be about. And I think because I was in a slump, usually I do try and find a few spoilers. I don't know why, I just do. And for this one I thought, no, I'm actually just going to pick it up, start reading it and see how I feel. So yes, I started reading Caraval last week, and yes, I already finished that. I'm on book 2. And I got really into this book. It just wasn't what I expected. I've never read a book like this, like, ever. There's just so many things that happen in it. This will be spoiler free, by the way. Where I've just never read a book where just so many sort of crazy things happen. Like, you know, on one side of the books that I read, there's fantasy. With fantasy books, I do truly feel like they can go in a direction that you don't expect, and you know, because there's all those like sort of like fantastical elements. Oh, my book's fallen. Oh, why, Sheila? There can be like the unexpected things that happen, and there's the sort of like surrealism that goes with that. But then with this book, it's like anything can happen. Like, you know, the strangest of things happen, and there's so many like interesting side characters. Like, there's characters that you see for just like a couple of pages, but the way that they're described, their behavior, their mannerisms, it's so compelling, and then it really made me want to sort of turn the page and find out more. And the concept of it was really interesting to me, that, you know, like it's a game that's invite only, and then when you're there, you know, you can only go out during the night to play the game. So there was a lot of like mystery involved with the book as well, which I really liked. I love romance so much, and I think with this I really enjoyed that aspect of the book as well. I felt like it was like a good, I felt like the romance was really interesting, and I'm hoping to see more of them throughout the rest of the series. But yeah, this book essentially saved me from my slump. As much as I had read books during this sort of slump era, this was definitely the one that I feel like completely, like, it's got me out of it, which I'm so happy about, and I'm so grateful for. I'm already on the second book, and I'm hoping to have this finished within the next day or two. And then there's another book in the series, and then there's the Once Upon a Broken Heart series that I want to start immediately after. And I know that I've kind of gone into being in a slump, what's got me out of it. But yeah, I just wanted to sort of do a video just about slumps in general. I just think they're so difficult. Like, when you are a reader, and like being a reader is so much a part of who you are, it's hard when you go through those phases when you don't feel like you can like pick up a book, or you feel like none of them's like really connecting with you. And, you know, I find that could be a really difficult time. I know for me, like, I love to read for like the escapism. I love to sort of like not think about my problems for the time that I'm reading, and not reading is really, I hate that. I hate not reading. But I think when it's been like a couple of weeks, it's not easy. And I just think, and there's lots of videos out there where, you know, it's, you know, monthly wrap-ups, monthly reading wrap-ups, things like that. And, you know, I've read this many books this month, or I've got my Goodreads goal and I need to read 100 books this year, or there's this or there's that. And I think I didn't do a reading wrap-up at the end of June because I read 2 books. And I remember at the time thinking, oh my gosh, I'm a book creator and I've only read 2 books in a month. Like, I was like, I will be sort of laughed out of the community and, you know, it's such a bad thing and this and that. And you know what? It's not. And I absolutely will, going forward, do reading wrap-ups where even if I've only read 1 book, I will still go through and do a reading wrap-up for that, because I think it's important for there not to be pressure on how many books you read per year, per month, per week. You know, even if you go the whole year and you've only read 1 book, like, good for you, you read that 1 book. Like, I want to hear about that. And, you know, I think reading should be for your enjoyment, and you should read because you want to, not because you feel sort of pressured or that you have to tick so many off a list in a short space of time. It's okay for life to be overwhelming at times. It's okay to just read at your own pace, and it's okay to take a break from reading at times. And for me, it just so happened that a slump came at just a strange time. But there will always be the book that saves you. There'll be something that takes you out of it. And for me, in this instance, it's been Caraval, which I am so grateful for. But I'm just also really wanting to hear any recommendations, or even just your own experience of if you've been in a reading slump before and what books have saved you, or what you'd recommend to get somebody out of a slump. Because I'll be honest, now I'm worried, because if I finish the Caraval series and then I go to Once Upon a Broken Heart, I'm like, what do I read next? I do have Quicksilver on my list. I've had it on my list since February and I still haven't read it. So I think that will be the next one for me. But beyond that, I'm really not sure what direction to go in. I typically, if I see books on TikTok and I like the sound of them, or I see like a snippet and the book seems interesting, I tend to see whichever book it is and I go on Amazon and I add it to my wish list, and then I know like, oh, I need to buy that one next. I do also have my sights set on Magnolia Parks. I don't really know much about that series, but I've seen lots of people reading it and I've heard really good things, and the reviews on Amazon were really good and the reviews on Goodreads were really good. So that has potential. The only thing is I really want I think it's the American covers, or I don't like the UK covers. So to buy the full set with the American covers was like quite expensive. I think it was like, I think it's on discount now, but it was like £60 for the set. But I thought, oh, I might wait a little bit before I get them. But yeah, I'm really excited for the next couple months for reading. I do feel like there's a few things that have caught my eye, but I'd just really like to hear what anybody else is suggesting and what anybody else is recommending. I feel like they'll be good to have, even if, you know, we all share them in the comments, and then, you know, if anybody else is experiencing this, hopefully they can go through and find something that helps them get out of their slump. But yeah, this was just like a nice quick video because I just wanted to speak about reading slumps, and I hope that this has been useful, or at least you can resonate with it, or, you know, maybe it's how you felt some of the time, or it might help people feel less pressure about how many books they read. And just remember just to read for fun, read because you love it. So thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing all your recommendations in the comments, and until next time, guys, bye.